Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. It's me, Miss Sanabat, and today we will learn about plant and animal tissues. There are group of cells which carry out different function, and each cluster of cell is called a tissue, and each tissue carry out a specific function. Such organisms with many tissues are called multicellular organism. Let us take a look at various type of animal tissue in detail. We have divided all the animal tissue into four major categories depending upon their function. We have the one for protection, another for connection, followed by movement and locomotion, and lastly for transmission of signals for quick and efficient work. Based on this, we get the four major type of tissues used as epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous. Let's begin with the first type of epithelial tissue. As the name says, epi is above. So epithelial tissue is the one which lies above the entire body, forming a protective covering. Along with the covering, it also forms a barrier between the various organs, separating them. Now the structure of epithelial tissue. The cells of epithelial tissue are tightly packed, forming a continuous sheath. Epithelial cells are polarized, means that they have a top and bottom side, allow epithelial cells to transport molecules. There are two types of epithelia. Simple epithelia is composed of one layer of cell, and stratified epithelia is composed of two or more layers of cells. The epithelia are found in three shapes: squamous, flat shape, cubical, cube-like, columnar, column-like shape. Now let's see that where the simple and stratified epithelial tissues are found. So the first is simple squamous epithelium. They are found in alveoli of lungs where the gaseous exchange takes place between the blood and the lungs. Second, simple cuboidal epithelia. They are found in the lumen of collecting duct in kidney. The function of collecting duct is to collect the urine from the kidney. And they are also present in the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is present in the neck region. Its function is to produce thyroid hormone in the body, which help in the growth and development. Simple columnar epithelium. They are found in the female reproductive system and in the digestive tract. These are stratified epithelial tissues composed of many layers. First is stratified squamous epithelium. They are found in skin with many dead keratinized cells. Provide protection against water and nutrient loss. Stratified cuboidal epithelia is present in the duct of many glands, including mammary glands in the breast and salivary glands in the mouth. For example, when salivary gland produces saliva, it enters into your mouth through the duct. So duct is just a tube which is made up of stratified cuboidal epithelia. Stratified columnar epithelia are rare and they found in some organ of the reproductive system. Last is transitional epithelia, or a special form of stratified epithelia. These cells can contract or relax, and they are exclusively found in the excretory system, especially in the urinary bladder and urethra. The second type of animal tissue is the connective tissue, and as the name says, it provides support and connect all the internal organs in a tight package. It is composed of ground substance. Ground means a gel-like substance, cells and fibers. Connective tissue is divided into three main categories: soft, hard, and the fluid connective tissue. The fatty tissue are the example of soft type. Adipose tissues provide cushion and store excess energy and fat. They are found under the skin and around the internal organs of your body. Cartilage is the flexible connective tissue. It is present in the pinna of air, in your nose, in the vertebral column, and between the two bones. Bone is another type of hard connective tissue. It can either be compact or spongy, and it is made up of osteoblast or osteocyte cells. And blood is also a special type of fluid connective tissue with cells suspended in a fluid medium, and the function of the blood is to transport materials in the body. The third type is the muscular tissue. As the name suggests, it means made up of muscles. The muscles help us in movement and locomotion. Just imagine what happens if our lungs stop contraction or relaxation. Well, that would cost us our life. So the muscular tissue is formed of muscle fiber. Each muscle fiber is an elongated cell which has the ability to contract and relax. There are three types of muscles present in the body: skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle, and smooth muscle. Skeletal muscle is also called strip muscle because when you observe it under the microscope, you can see these strips. The skeletal muscle is attached to bone by the help of the tendon. Tendon are soft connective tissue. They attach muscle to the bone, whereas ligament is also a soft connective tissue. They connect bone to bone. The muscles in your legs and arms are skeletal muscle. Cardiac muscle is found only in the wall of the heart. They are also stripped muscles, but it's not under voluntary control. So thankfully, you don't need to think about making your heart beat. Smooth muscle is found in the wall of blood vessel, digestive tract, the uterus, the urinary bladder, and various internal structure. They are unstripped. It is involuntary, not under conscious control. That means you don't have to think about moving food through your digestive tract. The fourth animal tissue is the nervous tissue. The nervous tissue is responsible for receiving, sending, and processing sensory information. These tissues are formed of cells called neurons or nerve cells. The nervous system is made up of brain, spinal cord, and the nerves. So when these tissues like epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, and nervous tissue, they combine, they form an organ. And when many organs combine, they form an organ system. And after the organ system, an organism is formed. Now the plant tissue are divided into two types: dividing tissue and the non-dividing tissue. Dividing tissue, also known as meristematic tissue, and non-dividing tissue, also known as permanent tissue. Let's first talk about the meristematic tissue. Meristematic cells are smaller in size with comparatively thin walls and a nucleus in the center. The main function of this tissue is to divide and help the plant grow. They are present on the growing parts of a plant like root and shoot tips. So when meristematic tissue have divided and reached the final stage of division, they attain maturity. After this point, these tissues don't divide anymore. They only get differentiated in different parts. And these non-dividing tissue, they become permanent tissue. So basically, when tissue grow and divide, they are called meristematic tissue, and when they finally mature and divide no more, they become permanent tissue. So permanent tissue are nothing but mature meristematic tissue. There are two types of meristematic tissue: apical meristem and lateral meristem. Apical meristem found in the growing parts of a plant in a root and stem apex. Apex means tips. So when these cells divide, they help the stem and root to increase in length. This type of growth is called the primary growth. Second is lateral meristem. They are located on the lateral sides of root and shoot. By dividing, they are responsible for increase in girth of a plant parts. Okay, it increases the thickness of the plant. This growth is called the secondary growth. There are mainly two types of permanent tissue. They are simple tissue and complex tissue. Let's first talk about the simple tissue in detail. The word simple means they have a very simple structure. All the cells of simple permanent tissue are almost the same. There are three subtypes of simple tissue: epidermal tissue, ground tissue or parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Epidermal tissue. So it is a single layer of cell covering almost the entire plant body. We human need a layer of skin to protect our internal organ. So plant also require and possess a protective covering throughout their body, which refers to epidermis. Since they forming a protective layer, it is obvious that they do not possess intercellular spaces. Also, cells are very flat in appearance and possess a thicker outer cell wall. So tell me, if the whole plant body is covered with epidermis, then how does the gaseous exchange along with the water vapor occur? Think about it. Well, the epidermis leaves some spaces, or you can say pores, which we commonly call stomata, a small opening present in the leaf or stem. These pores are guarded by the guard cell. Stomata help in exchange of gases carbon dioxide and oxygen along with water vapor in and out of the plant cell. The second system is the ground tissue system. The major cell of the ground tissue are parenchyma cell, and their function is photosynthesis and nutrient storage. Parenchyma consists of thin-walled living cell. These cells have intercellular spaces and they are present in all the soft parts of the plant, like in the pulp of fruit and endosperm of many seed. The function of parenchyma is to store the food. Second is collenchyma. It consists of elongated cells with the corners filled with cellulose and pectin. It present in the stem and leaf stalk of dicot plants, and the function of collenchyma is to provide structural support and help plant stay standing. The third is sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma consists of very long, narrow, thick-walled cell. When sclerenchyma cell fully mature, they die, and once they are dead, they simply maintain the structure of the plant. They are found in xylem and the hard fruit coats. First tissue system you would encounter. Now let's talk about the second type of permanent tissue is the complex tissue, and complex tissue are mainly of two types, xylem and phloem. Complex tissue consists of vascular bundle system that take up the responsibility of transportation. So for transporting water and minerals in upward direction from soil to the leaves, we have the xylem. And xylem is made up of two major components, sclerenchyma vessels and fiber. Similarly, for the transport of food from leaves to various parts of the plant, we have the phloem to help the plant. It is also made up of living cell. Phloem tissue mainly contain sieve tube and companion cell. Sieve tube cells are long and have small pores. Companion cell are parenchymatous and are closely associated with the sieve tube cell. They help the sieve tube in conduction of food material and make protein for sieve tube cells. After watching the video, do reading of this topic from the book, page number 78 to 87. Thank you.